Hello, men and women of the 1st Naval Squadron community. This is Lieutenant Commander Mr. Everything, and I'm coming at you with the March State of the Community Address. If you haven't been to a State of the Community Address before, or haven't watched any of these videos before, what it is a monthly newsletter for our squadron that lets you know what's going on, what the status is, how we're progressing, and what you can expect for the coming month. Also, it helps me address some things that I might be seeing going on in the squadron, so I kind of can share that with everybody through a video format. Okay, one of the first things we're going to talk about is our membership. Okay, our members. We have 31 members. Okay, let me back up and let me say this. We have multiple places where we have membership. Okay, first of all, we play on multiple games, and in those games, they have guilds or squadrons, or organizations, whatever you want to call them, and you need to be, if you're participating in our community under one of these games, you need to be a part of the squadron in that game's system. So, just using this as an example, War Thunder has a squadron system. You need to be a member of the 1 NAS in War Thunder. Okay, as well as joining our website at 1nas.engine.com. Okay, so the website is what ties all of the games together, and each game has its own guild community format. So like in Star Citizen, you need to go to the Star Citizen website. You need to find 1NAS and join there. In War Thunder, you need to click on you click on squadrons, and then you search squadrons, find 1NAS, and you join there. Overall, we're not having any problem with that. Okay, the majority of our members are logged in to the engine website, but they're also logged into the game. If you're one of the few that are not doing this, you need to get on top of that right away. And we're going to go into that in just a second. When I say engine, I do mean our website. When you go to our website, you see that we've got 31 members, 31 of them. 27 are in War Thunder, and 9 of them are in Star Citizen. Now, you can be in both, and that's how these numbers are 27 and 9, is because not everybody plays Star Citizen, not everybody plays War Thunder, but some people play both. Now, inside War Thunder, we have 25, which is too shy of what we got on the engine site. And then inside Star Citizen, we have 8 people signed up, which is 1 shy of our 9 that are on the website. After this video, I will be going through and I will be checking the roster, and I will be checking it against the roster in the game, and I will be checking it against the roster on our website. And if there are any discrepancies, like one guy or the other, I'm going to look to see how long he's been in the squadron. If he's been in the squadron for more than 2 weeks, I'm going to remove him from the squadron. If it's less than 2 weeks, I'm going to give him an opportunity to join the website or join inside the game. Okay, so you have to be in both. If you're only in one or the other, I don't consider you an active member of our squadron. And as you know, that if you are not an active member of our squadron, each month I remove people. Okay, so just keep on top of that. Now, something to help me out and the rest of your squadron is your names have to match. Okay, so if you have a name in War Thunder, let's say Mr. Everything, and you have a name in Engine, let's call it Jack the Ripper. I'm just going to use that as an example. Those are not the same, okay? And so when I, as a squadron leader, goes through the roster and I say, hey, check this out. We got this Jack the Ripper in the website, but we got this Mr. Everything in the squadron. Guess what? I can't put those 2 names together. There's too many people in the squadron for me to remember all of your aliases. So If they're not the same, I will immediately assume that they are different people. And so I will say, well, this guy's only in the website, he's gone. This guy's only in the game, he's gone. And I just kicked you when, in fact, you were in both. All you need to do is go on Engine, change your name on Engine to match your game name. It's that easy. And if you're not doing it, or if you don't do it, you're in violation of our code of conduct, which you agreed to when you joined our squadron. Number 10 in our code of conduct reads as this: your TeamSpeak handle should be the same as your game handle and not be a variation of it. This is used, now I'm talking TeamSpeak, okay? Now this is used to help people find you in the forums and the profile and blah, 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 right? Okay, I'm not going to read the whole thing. And then the next sentence says, your engine name should also be the same, and it should not be different unless you're in 2 games. So like if you're in War Thunder and you're in Star Citizen, and your War Thunder name is different than your Star Citizen name, your engine needs to be at least the same as one of those. Okay, so far so good. Okay, so make that happen. If you haven't made it happen, and you get kicked, and you have questions of why you got kicked, that could be why you got kicked. And if that's the case, I don't have a problem re-inviting you back to the squadron as long as you get this corrected before I invite you. Okay, so just make that happen. That's no problem. I know most of you are good to go. It's just there's a few outliers, and I hope if you're a friend of somebody and you recognize that their names are different than their engine name, let them know so that they can get so they can square themselves away. Okay, so now we're going to go into training. Okay, well, we had some training this last month in February. We had spread formation training and the thatch weave scissor formation, and we had, and this was in War Thunder, we only had 6 people participate in this training. Okay, that's kind of, I'm not going to say unacceptable, because I think 6 people getting training is pretty good, but if we have 27 people on the engine site playing War Thunder, we probably should have had at least half, maybe a dozen. We should have twice as many people participating. You know, I understand that it's not the right time of day for everyone to participate, and that's why I tried to put it at a couple of different times of day, and I also tried to put it on a couple of different days. But in one training we had 6, and in the other training we had 0. Well, we had one who participated in both trainings, but I count that as 0 because there's no new faces. That's really, I'm not going to say unacceptable, because that's really up to you guys how much training you want. I think it's unacceptable for me. If I was in a squadron and they were having training, I would be there. I would at least make an attempt to be there, and by not being there, that kind of I would think that would tell my new squadron that I don't really care about their training or their team activities, and I wouldn't, so it's what is that showing me, about the people who did not show up? Okay, all I can do is just sit here and think bad things. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so we have some new upcoming events coming up in March. Okay, now here's what we got. Let's talk about Star Citizen first. With the release of 2.2, we're going to be able to team up in Crusader. This is going to be released any day now, and I'm currently testing the PTU. And we can team in the PTU right now. So we will schedule 3 days in March where we'll get together and form a team and then conduct 1, fighter tasks, like getting out there and dogfighting and things. 2, FPS gameplay, so we'll actually get our rifles out and run around the hallways. And 3, we're going to do multi-crew activities. So we're actually going to all jump into a multi-crew ship and fly around and try to man turrets and repair damage and stuff like that. So that's going to happen in March. We're going to schedule 3 days for that. Now, on each day that we do this, we're going to do all 3 tasks. So it's not going to be like one day we do fighter tasks, one day we do FPS, and one day we do multi-crew. No, on all days we're going to do all tasks. So in each of those days, we're going to schedule about 2 to 3 hours of activities, so we can make sure we get all of them give each one of them their allotted time. If you're a Star Citizen player and you're able to make those, that would be great. Okay, so if you can't make it, that's understandable. I understand work and life comes first, but if you can, please try to make it. Okay, this is not training. This is just like practice. This is just having fun. Okay, now in War Thunder, knowing that we need some more Tier 4 tanks for the squadron, most of our players have Tier 4 planes, and that's great, right? Do you have the right Tier 4 plane? Do you have the right Tier 4 tank? Because when we go into squadron battles, we are pretty much going to have like a set loadout that you need to have. So a lot of you don't have Tier 4 USA heavy tanks. I need you guys to start working towards that. Squadron. Here we go. Knowing that. So we're going to have a few nights of grinding matches. We're going to have some arcade matches. We're going to take 3 of our crew, right? We're going to put in some American tanks in there, and we are going to grind out some American tanks maybe once a week, right? Because we need to get to Tier 4 USA T-32 heavy tank. We need the T-32. It's a battle rating 7.3, and so we need to grind that for our squadron battles. And come to the squadron training on Monday night, and you'll learn how we're going to set up our squadron for those events. Now, this is filmed before the squadron battle training, so for the aircraft, you should be grinding towards, and this is, once you get it, then you can stop grinding for it. You can do whatever you want. But you should be grinding towards getting the U.S. Navy F-8F-1B. Okay, you should be trying to get that Bearcat 1B because it's a great dogfighter, but it also has the ability to carry bombs and rockets for ground pounding if we need it. Because in squadron battles, there are ground objectives that have to be taken by tanks. So each team is going to have a number of tanks going for those ground targets, but they're also going to have aircraft to clear the skies of bombers, and then there's going to be guys with the ability to bomb. So make sure that you grind towards the U.S. Navy F-8F-1B and also the tank, the heavy tank, U.S. T-32. Okay? Make sure we get those 2 vehicles in our inventory so that you can start participating in our squadron battles. Now, I do have a community update. This is mainly for the entire 1st Naval Squadron, the whole community. We're going to have a whole community meet and greet. Okay, it's going to be, we're going to get into TeamSpeak. We're going to log in. We're going to meet the squadron. We're going to have a good time getting to know each other, our leaders, and one another. And we'll set aside a day soon where we can take a few hours and you can jump in and chat with us. You can meet your fellow squadron teammates, find out what they're about, like what other games they play. Do they prefer tanks, planes, multi-crew ships, FPS? Are they a merchant? Do they like bombing, etc., etc.? That way you can learn a little bit about your the people that you fly with, your squadron, your team, your community. All of these things, the Star Citizen practices, the War Thunder grind, and the meet and greet are all going to be on the website. Find them under the calendar. If you haven't visited the calendar, then shame on you. Go to the calendar, see what's going on each month. If you want to put something in the calendar, there should be an opportunity for, like, if you want to have a special day where you get together and grind British tanks or something like that, put it on the calendar. It's totally okay. The calendar is for the squadron to use. You guys put anything you want on the calendar. And then we're going to also talk about the forum. The forum is there for you to use also. Okay, so please use the forum. If you want to discuss something, if you want to know what your favorite plane is, or if you want to explain how you're planning on exploring the universe, or if you're curious about what a different ammunition type does, or anything. If you want to post it on the forum, please post it on the forum. If you're making an announcement like, hey, I'm going to be gone for the weekend, put it in the forum so that the rest of the squadron will know. If you've just unlocked a certain type of vehicle, or if you're shopping for a vehicle and you want advice or anything, put that in the forum. That way more than just one person can see it. Everybody can see it. If you put it on your wall, only your friends will see that. But if you put it in the forum, then the entire squadron will see that. All right, now finally, I do want to say, keep up the good work, okay? The squadron lately, in the last few months, I've been very pleased at our progress and the direction we're going, what's going on in the squadron. And the recruiting has gone very well. We've got people that are going in matches are posting the required post in the match saying something like the one NAS is recruiting, and you can post that in both Star Citizens chat. You can also post that in the War Thunder chat and make sure everybody hears it, and then be done with it. Don't say it again. Just put it at the start of each match. We've got a great number of new players, a huge amount. If you look at last month's State of the Unit, you're going to see what our membership was like, and then you heard what our membership like is today. So it's a huge jump. Now, if you're playing with your buddies, right, and you play with them regularly, you guys pretty much have set up your own like little team or little group within our squadron. That's great. One of you needs to step forward, or you guys can figure it out, but one of you needs to step forward and take on a leadership role and become the leader of that group. I don't mind having a flight of 4 guys that are close friends. Okay, that's awesome, you know, because then you guys can probably finish each other's sentences or know exactly what each other's thinking and what kind of strategies you guys want to use. Plus, you probably log on at the same time of day. Like you guys might be from Germany, and there might be 3 or 4 of you from Germany that are all playing at the exact same time, or England, or Australia, or the U.S., or wherever, right? So if you are in a group pretty much already, have one of the group contact me and let me know that, you know, who these 4 people are, and that one of them is going to take over as a leader, and let me know who that is so that I can make that happen. Okay, so but other than that, we are doing very well. I am extremely pleased. This year has been a very good year for this squadron, and yeah, ever since we changed, things have gone extremely well. So you guys have a great time, and I'll see you at the meet and greet, or if not, at one of the trainings, or just on TeamSpeak, or in your hangar.